Yep.
Okay, perfect. Why invest in Puerto Rico? Well, first of all, it's a U.S. territory. It's an island, so people love it for vacation and tourism. It's only a 2 hours flight from Miami, 3 from Charlotte, 4 hours from New York, and the tax haven is because of the Act 60, 74, and others. And we speak language and we speak Spanish and English. Spanish is our primary language, but since kindergarten, it's part of the school curriculum. We take English classes. It's part of the school curriculum. Most of the major airlines flying to Puerto Rico, like Delta, United, JetBlue, Southwest, Spirit. Also, this is very important because more than 5.1 million passengers arrived at the Luis Muñoz Marin International Airport. That was in 2021. And that was a 6.5 increase from, 2022 from 2021. I don't have the data from 2023, but I'm pretty sure that that hasn't changed. The island now employs more than 91,500 individuals in travel and tourism related jobs. And also, the hospitality sector has increased more than 12.8% compared with the pandemic levels, while employment numbers in the US remain, 4% below. Approximately for 8.9 billion in revenue was generated by travel and tourism. That means 39% increase over the previous high in 2019. And between 2021 and 2022, the book in the hospitality industry doubled, which is 81% higher than the year before. Recent projects, Ciudadela and Santurce, just to give you a reference, Ciudadela, it was a Class D neighborhood that no one's was to be there, and now it's an area that everybody wants to hang out there. It's a beautiful area. So John Paulson, one of the largest buyer in real estate in Puerto Rico and other businesses, basically he transformed the entire Santurce, and he created a not a five. Well, yeah, it could be a 5 star, but a class A is what I wanted to say. A class A neighborhood with, luxury apartments and those kind of things. Distrito T-Mobile is another beautiful area to hang out. The San Regis Bahia Beach Resort, Serafina Hotel, the Hyatt, new hotels coming in. El Distrito Cinco Fases, which is 5 phases, basically it's an area that they're coming up like clubs, restaurants, a lot of things. And very important, for many years, Puerto Rico has the largest cruise ports in the entire Caribbean. Now this is very interesting. This year, 2024, the government approved the permits last year, but in this year, 2024, they're gonna build the first Hard Rock Cafe hotel. It's a $500 million investment. Also, Hilton has presence in Puerto Rico for many years. In Puerto Rico, as far as I remember, there's only 2 or 3 Hilton hotel, but now they're betting to in Puerto Rico, and they're gonna build 10 new hotels across the 5 brands in Puerto Rico. Why is that? Why this momentum? It's because the Act 60. The Act 60 is an umbrella of different tax incentives, which is divided, in the Act 20, Act 22, Act 74. There's other. But basically, what it does is that you can pay only 4% corporate tax rate. You will have 100% tax exempt dividends, 50% tax exemption on municipality taxes, and other benefits. Um, Basically, these are the same benefits. I'm gonna skip that. It's not only in real estate and businesses. The film industry is getting these incentives, and people don't know about this, but most of the films or the movies that we see here in the US are filmed in Puerto Rico. Just to give a reference, there's one Fast and the Furious, I don't remember which one was, but basically it's the one that they were in Brazil, but that wasn't Brazil, that was Puerto Rico. The movie was filmed in Puerto Rico because they got the tax benefit as well. Um, what's the movie with what was the name of the movie? The big gorilla and he's not oh my God, I forgot
Godzilla?
the which one?
Godzilla or Planet of the
No,
Apes?
no, I forgot the name. Anyway, there's a couple of popular movies filmed in Puerto Rico. So what's the Act 74? The Act 74, this I love this. This is beautiful. The Act 74, basically you get a tax credit, which is tradable, and at the end it's a cash injection to the business. If you own anything in the hospitality industry, and what's anything is any property with 7 rooms or more that serve in the hospitality industry. So basically, let me explain this in simple words. I'm going to use simple numbers as well. Let's say that you buy a property for $600,000. You put $300,000 in rehab, and then your first year of expenses is $100,000. So basically, you add everything up and you have spent $1 million, right? So what the government does for you is that now you can get a 40% tax credit on your income tax that you can either use it as a credit or you can trade it and sell it for 90 or 95 cents on the dollar and get immediately a cash injection to the business. So why companies are hungry to buy these tax incentives? Because only certain industry that comply with these requirements get the benefit. But there's a lot of multinational companies in Puerto Rico like Pfizer, Amgen, HP, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. They have presence in Puerto Rico and they don't have these benefits and they have to pay a lot in taxes. So now if I have these tax benefits, I can trade them and sell it and get a cash injection into the business. On top of that, the business to not pay the 20 or 30% tax bracket, it only pays 4%, but the owners do not pay anything. It's 100% tax exemptions for the owners. So
Wow.
that's why a lot of people are buying aggressively in Puerto Rico. Some of it, popular names, John Paulson, he came up in Puerto Rico 10 years ago, and there's a LinkedIn link here that I can share with you guys. Basically, the guy bought the entire Puerto Rico. He owns a couple of hotels. He owns a lot of resorts, golf course, auto dealers, and so on. Jerry Norton, that is another big name in the real estate industry. He moved out to Puerto Rico 3-4 years ago, and it was you can find his story in YouTube. And he was last time that he needed to pay like $4 million in taxes. He said, "I'm done. I'm moving out to Puerto Rico," and now he isn't paying. He's not paying taxes, or at least a very low amount compared to what he was paying here. Vina Jetty, she started her first hotel in 2023. Sheriff Meduar, he owns $500 million in investment in Puerto Rico. This guy, he's not popular in the social media environment, but the guy, he used to work for Hilton a long time ago. And basically his role was to fix problems for Hilton around the world. And at some point, he was sent to Puerto Rico to fix one of the Hilton problems that they had in Puerto Rico. He loved the island and he saw the opportunity and he started his own fund. And now basically he owns $500 million of investment in Puerto Rico. And basically that's Puerto Rico.
That is insane. So it's like creating money out of thin air. Like
That's the perfect description. Yeah.
yeah. So JD is asking, do you have to be a resident of Puerto Rico? What's up, JD? Here's another creative financing guy.
Love it.
You
So
also know.
that's a great question. You don't.
Mhm.
So under the Act 60, there's the Act 20, the Act 22, the 74, there's other, but for us, the most important ones are the 20, 22, and 74. So for those that are moving in Puerto Rico, you get the 20, which is you have other benefits as well. So now you don't pay it as a person, as an individual. So your business doesn't pay at all, but as an individual, you don't pay. But for example, my business, my IT company, the one that we spoke about at the beginning, I have the Act 60. I live here in Ohio, so I don't live in Puerto Rico. But so I don't have the Act 20, but I have the Act 22. So my business only pay 4% tax.
Wait, say that again. Your business is here in the U.S.
No, so Megatech headquarters are
Oh,
in Puerto Rico. So the business itself has the Act 22. So the business only pay at 4%.
mhm,
As an individual, because I live in the US, I have the US bracket and not the Puerto Rico bracket,
mhm.
if that makes sense.
Yes.
But people that live in Puerto Rico, they got the two benefits, the business benefit and the individual benefit.
Mhm. Wow, that's amazing. JD, are we buying hotels now in Puerto Rico? Is that the plan?
Yes, hopefully with Alexis. We did speak Alexis in Vegas about hotels.
Oh, oh yeah, I
Remember?
remember you. Of course, yeah. Now I see your face. Yeah.
Yeah, JD has hotel. He's building a hotel in LA. He's building a storage facility out here in Sacramento. He has a lot and he's another creative financing guy who is gonna be on this webinar in 2 weeks, in 2 Sundays.
I love it. Yeah, I remember we had a nice conversation, and he's the hotel guy.
Yeah, nice to see you here, JD.
Yeah.
You were so about your project in Puerto Rico, Alexis. So you're buying the seller financing. Is it just you, or do you have partners? Are you looking for partners? What is the situation of the project?
Okay, so this is a small hotel, only has 13 rooms, mismanaged, tired landlord. He's been renting out only 11 rooms. I can say much because I signed an NDA, but there's some details that I can, talk about it. 11 rooms, so and he's been renting for 120, 125 per night, which is the comps in the area are between 2 to 250. So the increase on NOI is huge on that deal. I'm trying to get it on seller finance because he has a lot of equity. He only has $400,000 on the current mortgage, which is he's between that I'll do the subject to or pay that loan off and then I do the seller finance. So we are in that, conversation.
So when are you gonna be? When do we know the final result of this deal?
So let me tell you a story. I have been dealing with this deal for a year. And the problem is not the seller, it's the broker that is in the middle of the transaction.
Ah,
It's been very difficult to deal with the broker to the point that I have had conversation with the seller. He's willing to move on, but he's a very, old guy, humble guy. He doesn't, I told him, but you can talk to the broker and let him know that you're willing to do the transaction. And he said, no, I'm gonna, let him do whatever he need to do. It's been very difficult, but the listing is supposed to expire now in February.
oh,
So,
I see. They're
so
gonna drag that to February.
yeah. Isabel, hi, Isabel. Isabel says patient, and yeah, patient. I have been proving myself the patient on this transaction. Because the seller wants, it's the broker that doesn't want.
Yeah, amazing. So are you looking to, so apart from this project in Puerto Rico, are you actively scouting for other hotels or other projects to do there?
In Puerto Rico, yes, definitely, because as I mentioned, the hospitality industry is booming. There's a lot of names buying in Puerto Rico, and this is nothing because people don't know, but you know that when the Hurricane Maria in 2017 wiped out the whole island, because Puerto Rico is part of the US, we get a lot of FEMA and federal benefits. Just to give you an idea, that was in 2017, and last year, 2023, my business had a grant related to the hurricane that happened 6 years ago. So what I mean by that is that there's still federal funds going into Puerto Rico, and there's a lot of cash in Puerto Rico moving in, and people are buying like crazy.
Amazing. That's so if I am an investor who want to know more about investing in Puerto Rico, are there any resources, website that I can go to, or do I just pick up my phone and call you?
Well, you can call me, but I mean, if you Google Act 60, you will find a lot of information in Puerto Rico, a lot. This is something that has been for 10 years, I will say, maybe more.
Oh wow. So it
Yeah.
has been so it has been in existence for 10 years.
Yeah, but what is happening is that because of social media and names like Jerry Norton, Vina Jetty, and other names are buying in Puerto Rico now becomes more popular.
Yeah, I can imagine. Jason saying sounds like a great opportunity to get in before the flood of investors and construction. Yeah.
Yes, let me tell you something. Now that he mentioned that, the other day I had a conversation with my broker, and he's involved on a new neighborhood, a luxury neighborhood that they're buying. They're selling the option at $12 million, and he said that it's sold out. The whole project is sold out. And I asked him, who are these people? And he said, more than 80% of these people are from California. People with money buying in Puerto Rico and stacking their cash in Puerto Rico because of the tax benefit.
Mhm. I think that's the way to do it. So, with Vina Jetty's hotel, do you know if she syndicated that?
I think so. I don't know all the details, but basically they bought a totally destroyed property, and they're gonna build from the ground. So basically, they bought the land. It's in front of the ocean. Beautiful.
Nice. Yeah, because I saw that you were at her event when she went to Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah, so they did an event on purpose because people they want to attract investors, because they want to syndicate deal. Because Jerry Norton, he built he not he built he bought a or he rehabbed his first hotel in Puerto Rico, but he did it with his own money. So basically now he wants to continue buying more hotels, but they want to syndicate these deals. But what they did is they invited, actually there was like maybe 200 investors. Isabel was there with me. And I remember, people were very excited, and deals were, closed a couple of weeks and months later because the people were so excited about the tax benefit that people, I remember, watching Facebook Live, people uh, streaming, they were like negotiating with brokers, scouting for deals, knocking doors. So they created a momentum because there's a lot of opportunities in Puerto Rico.
Wow. Well, now that the word is out there, I wonder if the prices of properties are gonna skyrocket now that it's out of the bag and everybody's now interested in going to Puerto Rico. But still, the tax benefits are you can't find that anywhere else.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a decree. You get a contract for 15 years, extendable to 10 years extra.
Wow, that's crazy. Amazing. Well, all right, you guys. So if you're not investing in the US, Puerto Rico is a good option for you. If you're not finding any deals here, which it's hard to believe, but I'm glad that we brought Alexis in today to talk about the benefits of Puerto Rico because I had no idea. I knew that there was some interest in, and why not? It's a tropical place. A lot of people want to go there, so it's a no-brainer, but I had no idea about the tax benefits. So thank you so much for sharing that. All right, you guys. So we're 15 or 17 past the hour. If you guys have any more questions, shout them out. All right, Alexis, how do we get hold of you? I know you're active in social media. There you go. Edwin's asking, how can I
Yeah.
get to you?
So I'm gonna type here my IG,
He's
which
on
is,
LinkedIn, he's on Instagram.
and then I have a YouTube channel that I created recently, which I started to create content in Spanish, but it seems like I feel that I needed to do it in English because a lot of people is asking for more information in English.
So you'll have to do both.
No, I have received, people have told me that they are adding like the subtitles in English in order to understand the conversation, which is, it's cool.
Well, you know what? I need to brush up on my Spanish anyway, so maybe I'll watch it in Spanish. All right. Do you have an email address?
I do. Let me write it down here.
If you are watching this on replay, we are also including Alexis's information on the email that has the link to this replay. Otherwise, you can visit my YouTube channel, Rochelle the Cashflow Nurse, on YouTube. There you go. All right. So, what is next for you, Alexis? What else are you working on right now?
Well, I'm pivoting a little bit, even that I'm still buying or moving on with the hotel and multifamily syndication as well. On the single family side, I'm pivoting into pad split, which is renting out per room and not per the house itself. The cash on cash and then buying on sub two. That's very important because just to give a reference, that's in Florida and Texas. The average entry cost on a sub two deal is between $30,000 to $50,000. And I'm taking over mortgages at 2, 3, or 4%. I'm not buying if the mortgage has it's my threshold is 5. I won't pay or I won't buy if the mortgage is more than 5%. But what's interesting is that I'm buying a property between $400,000 to $500,000 purchase price, and my entry cost. What I mean by entry cost, that means down payment, aging costs, closing costs, all the costs involved, between 30 to 50,000, which is basically 10% or less than that. On top of that, well, the calculation on a pad split, the cash on cash that I'm getting is between 30 to 50%, depending on the case. The average is 35, 40% because we're renting out by the unit. I mean, by the room. And it has the same benefits as multifamily. So it's a single family home, but you have 6, 7, 8 tenants, which is, if one tenant leave, you still getting cash every month.
Yeah. So who are your tenants who are renting by the rooms?
So these are single people most of the time. I don't have any relationship with them. I use Pad Split, which is the company, is the property management company. Yeah, Pad, PAD, and then Split. And basically they do everything for you. They do the advertising, the tenant screening, everything. The only things that they don't do is the asset management. What I mean, if a toilet break or something happened with the asset, we have to take care of it. But those are simple things to deal with. And yeah, and basically they charge 14.8. I rounded up to 15% out of the gross profit. So usually, just to give you a rough number, on average in Central Florida with a 8 unit, your gross is around $7,000. Let's say that the mortgage payment is around 25, and then you subtract all the numbers. At the end, you're netting like $2,000. So if you're netting $2,000 times 12, that means 24. If your entry cost was $30,000, so basically your cash on cash is 80%.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And Smitty was saying Pad Split is the new Airbnb for working professional.
Yes, and now that you mentioned that, a lot of people that are struggling with Airbnb, they are turning into Pad Split.
Okay, so better get on the bandwagon. So your markets are Florida, Texas, Ohio, and what else? Where else are you buying?
I am very interested in Vegas and Phoenix. I haven't buy anything in those markets yet, but I am very interested because both markets are, booming.
Nice. There you go. If you have a property in Vegas or Phoenix, contact Alexis. And Smitty is saying, reach out to him. He wants to chat about Pad Split that has been in his radar.
Thank you so much.
All right. Okay, you guys, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much. It has been amazing, Alexis. Thank you so much for all that information. As always, I learned something new today, and I love that I'm always learning. I hope everybody else is too. And thank you so much for joining us this Sunday. Next Sunday, I have a couple. Oh, probably just the wife is going to join us from the Warrior Mentorship Group, Yesenia Gonzalez out of Florida. So we're going to be discussing about their multifamily journey and how they were able to build their portfolio, being that her husband is a full-time doctor. So if you're in the medical profession, if you know anybody who's in the medical profession who could benefit from this webinar, please invite them. And we're going to have a great time, just like we did tonight. So thank you so much. And somebody will
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you, Alexis. And we still need to talk. So I'm going to reach out to you. Thank you so much, everybody. And I'll see you again next week.